What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Dima, come on, music. So, guys, today I am talking about an interesting case happening in the Maryland area. Now, a lot of my episodes deals with Pookies and Ray Rays, who are typically men who are committing atrocities in the black community. Gunshots, please! But today, we're not dealing with them as the lead suspect. We're dealing with a young lady who's actually quite attractive herself. Samaya Damian Neal. Stop the show. That is definitely a very interesting name. Gunshots, Dima! Anyhow, so this young lady was in Prince William County. I believe actually this is in Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, she thought that she would go into the beauty supply store and buy some products. Actually, guys, I'm just joking. She actually wanted to steal some products.
Oh, she's stealing.
Oh, you better stop.
Oh.
Driving from Southeast DC, she and some of her Pookie and Ray Ray playmates decided to go into the store. They began taking items off the store's shelves. Now, the employee in the store tried to confront them.
You need to leave.
And then, Dima, give me like a spray sounding effect there. Right. They pepper sprayed the person. Imagine this. Pookies and Ray Rays are using pepper spray to defend themselves against, employees or people who are actually in the right. It's almost a robber robbing you and then yelling, thief! And then everybody comes and whoops your ass as a thief and they get away. That's what we're talking about today. So then she drives and was found in Southeast DC. You have another suspect is between 17 to 22 years old, a man, and another woman who was also doing this. Now, here's what I want to talk about. You have a young woman who could have easily decided, I just want to get a job. I just want to work and go in here and I can buy, said items, because you're living in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. by far is one of the most lucrative places in the nation for African Americans. The whole trifecta area, you have D.C., you have Maryland, you have Virginia, you can join the military. There's a lot of government jobs. There's a myriad of schools: American University, University of D.C., Howard University, Georgetown, George Washington. All of the things that you need in the nation's capital to be somebody is there. It's easier to be somebody in D.C. than it is for somebody, let's say, in Oakland, California, or Milwaukee, Wisconsin, because the nation's capital has a lot of resources and good paying ones. But let me tell you who has a hard time getting resources. People who are lazy and they have bad morals and no work ethics. And I can tell you that in the black community, this is not always the case. But typically what we're seeing, especially from the female crowd, is that a lot of these young ladies are coming up in homes where there is no infrastructure and no rules. So somehow they believe that they can do anything that they would like, some of these ladies, and that nothing will happen to them because they're young women, only to find out that don't mean anything. They will still lock you up and give you a felony like they would do anybody else. Here's what I'm saying. There is no man there. And when I talk about women who are polite, and women who don't have, fathers could also not be polite. But when we're talking about women that have a little bit more, morality and things like that, in my honest opinion, they're coming from these 2-parent homes. A lot of these young people that are committing these acts, usually there is no family there. There's no family to reinforce these things, to teach these things to these people, where they actually feel loved, where they have values that, hard work, dedication, ingenuity will always give you, as a young person, more opportunity than stealing. It's one of the big problems we have in the black world, including Africa. That's a whole nother concept. And we have a lot of great people in Africa that teach their kids the right thing every day. I'm not saying that. But now we do have people in the black world, the black American community. I see it, things where where's the morality at? And when you see it, you don't see it being taught in the home. And these young people, they got to find out later on in life, you know what, when I was 21, 22, I made a serious mistake, but now I got those felonies on the records. And here's what I blame too. Individual parents, why are you people having these kids that you will not take care of? Women, men, both. But women especially, because now this is something that, you know, they feel like, well, you know, I can have these kids and I can do it all by myself. And I can guarantee you this lady's father was not there. That's first of all. But these political leaders, especially in these DCs, PG counties and stuff, why do y'all have these people, our people out here behaving in such a manner that it is so befitting? It is so sad. It is so dusty. Really it is. And it makes absolutely no sense. Here you have women now that's trending all over the black world, especially in America, that are committing crimes, sometimes the same level of violence as men, especially in the eastern corridor of the nation, walking up to people and just shooting them. Sometimes. I believe now you have over 184 people shot in Philly that were women. Many of those shootings done by women. This is where we're at. And you're talking to me about feminism all the time. Or you're talking to me about I don't need a man. Or you're talking to me about I don't need a wife. And when I'm seeing these things happen, I'm seeing that you have a less and less morality. You know, back in the day, you wouldn't even think about that. Especially if it's any store, any community. It's just not honorable to steal. But then you're going to come in and steal, take all the stuff. We talked about that in Atlanta. There was a story where you had all these women just going into Kohl's, stealing stuff from Kohl's. And then what are you stealing? Something that's no less than $1,000? And you're going to get a felony for that? You might as well try to rob a bank. I'm not saying that you should, because you shouldn't. But with your whole skills and your own work ethic, you can make a lot of money. If you really wanted to be having weaves and lashes, how about you learn the business? How about you learn the industry? That's way more important. But guess what? We don't have young people who believe in their ability. Okay? We don't. Young people believe a lot of times in Black America, I need to be a rapper. I need to be an IG model. I need to be an athlete. Anything that and everything else I can get from somebody else. Not everybody, but you see it here. And it's ridiculous. You have women out here committing the same atrocities as men. And I can tell you there's no father in the house. Well, guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again. Another episode, Celebrity Drunk. Appreciate you for all that you do. I'm out.